Perfect. G'day guys. Here for a brief time, not a long time. Good time, not a long time. And I'm going to put some paint on a brand new fresh board. I'm excited. Big brush time. No chill. Big brush. That is the plan. So, we're going to get started. Attack it. Chuck around some blacks and blues. See where it takes us. Oh, the fun we can have. Right, big brush. Here we go. Get lots of black down in here. Hello, how we doing? How are we doing? Here we go. All this darkness all the way through it. Oh my, first strokes. Is it a landscape? It's a good question. I wouldn't call it a landscape. Although it does have, it's going to be, actually the entire thing's ocean from about here downwards. And then we have sky above. And then it's very shallow though. So here in the near future, there'll be a character running out into the water. I love how excited you guys get for the beginning too. It's cute. It's fun. Beginnings take a little bit of time as we get this blacken. Just a little bit of black. Can you make me a painting, please? Nikki, of course I can. It'd be an absolute pleasure to make you a painting. Jump on the link in the bio. Let me know the size you're after. Oh, thanks, Nikki. I appreciate that. Jump on the link in the bio and let me know what size you're after and exactly what you're after in terms of the painting. And I'll be pretty excited to make it for you. That sounds like fun. You know, that's one thing I do like about commissions, is that someone brings you their inspiration and idea. So you can sort of feed off that, take some of their inspiration and make it your own. It's pretty wholesome. Gloomy, no. Just adding the base coat. So, link in the bio, Nikki. And then tell me what you like. So this is a wave. It'll start to get clearer as time goes on. Waves rolling in, shallow water, cascading up to a character. There's a couple of clouds in the sky. Just a couple. Hello, Jundy. I'm fantastic. How do I contact you? The best way to do it, Nikki, go into the bio, into my bio, and select, there's a link there. And from there, you can go onto Instagram, you can go into commission and original, you can go onto emails. Honestly, Nikki, whatever suits you. If you end up in my Instagram inbox, I can send you a link from there, and that totally works out fine as well. So, everything is within the realms of possibility. Instagram's probably the easiest for you, and the lack of it's all too scary. to jump on commission and original. Hello, Clancy. How you doing? Here we go. Super. Do I do this all the time? I sleep a little bit. No, I paint full time. That's what I do. I love it, guys. Sorry about that, Inky. Yeah, so they're all gone, and it breaks my heart too, because I had someone contacting me about Mahalo. 3 people today, what are the chances, asking about Mahalo, being like, have you got prints? Have you got prints? And what's funny about Mahalo is I said to them, I think I might have a few A3s, but apart everything else, it's gone. So give me a chance. I've got 8 prints that I have to load up and get all sorted, and there's more on the way. So there's the waterfall pick we did a while ago. There is the, what else is there? The waterfall pick, the farmer. We've got, Alex has already gone up. We've got the ballerina. We've got a whole bunch of fun ones. Fun ones coming. A little bit of white. So we're starting off with quite a mono palette here. I'm just going to use the blacks. I'm just going to use the blues and splice in a little bit of white. A little bit of white to help them chill out, with the intention of just gently building the correct color palette into this. Using my old friend, thick, slow, medium, because I want to keep the paint open. That's the plan. That's the plan. Now, if I do get a little bit engaged in this, and I miss someone's comments, and you've got something you'd like to ask, you can always go onto Instagram. You can go onto the link in the bio and get my email. Every option's open to you. Not ignoring you, just get a bit excited about the painting. Now, when it comes to this water texture too, it's going to take a lot of layers. A lot of layers. I want to let that flow into that water. There we go. And up higher, grey. Whoo-wee. All that grey. Beautiful. But not afraid to apply it. Here we go. All the way down. And across. Paint. I mean, I am. It's a very useful tool. I love using a brush. It's something I know a lot of people use for these sort of bigger painting methods. Tools from Pasto, but I've always loved a brush. Love the way it holds paint. Moreau likes the blue. That's fun. What am I painting today, DJ? DJ, this is a massive picture of sky and water. Massive picture. And as we continue on this trajectory, we will grow out sun-kissed nature on the sea and this character moving out into it. And hopefully, we can capture a little bit of the fun of a place pretty near and dear to my heart. It's called Dreamland Beach in Uluwatu. There we go. There we are. Is it annoying how the canvas wobbles? Nah, just deal with it. Have fun. It's all part of it. You could get a stronger easel, but I don't need it. I don't need it. Here we go. Here we go. It's annoying how the canvas wobbles. Yeah, it's only for these big strokes. You've got to push harder with the big strokes. But as we get coverage, it'll gain strength. Just let the just let the canvas wobbles be part of the tactile character for now. The problems with working with such a big piece, guys, because the edges go so far over where the easel can stand. I do like to paint from my imagination, but the problem is when I paint from my imagination, I'm crazy. And so I never quite know where my crazy imagination is going to take me. And while that is fun, an anchoring point is fantastic because it controls my crazy. It harnesses it like a conduit. I'm a big fan of having a picture to work from. And especially with water, because water's like landscapes. They're so forgiving. Like, honestly, Star, that's a fact of the matter. And if you don't have an image, I end up doing these crazy abstract works with colours flying in all directions. Fun as they are, don't get me wrong, fun as they are, it's nice to have something sort of to center yourself around, to ground the painting. And you'd say, doesn't that limit it? Not really. It creates a playing field in order for you to lose control. You wouldn't say the sports field limited a game of soccer. It allowed it to be played there. Or rugby. It created the environment in which the inspiration, the fun, the sport, the energy, the hype, the everything could happen. So I like it. Wendy Brown, welcome back. Michael, welcome back. And also, who was that there? Star. It kind of shouldn't be feels either, right? I mean, since when was it a bad thing to be a little crazy? Of course I remember Michael. You had the best of intentions. You trolled the moderators a little bit. Don't worry, it was all right. It was all right. And then you were welcome to be here for the whole session. Good to have you back. And thanks, Clancy. I appreciate you. There we go. Big colours. So we're already starting to see these bits here. This is the area that's closest to you. This is water swirling a little bit, less control. Coming up here, there's one wave that's crashing. It's a little bit more water, and then you hit the horizon line. And that's what we're after. Mystic Mars, thank you. Have you been painting with parrots been has the painting with the parrots been shipped? The answer there is no. No. It needs a little bit more. A little bit more. I can decide when a painting's finished, and I have decided that that one is not. But I am loving exactly where it's at. It's in a really, really fun space. What's that? No, I'm very happy, but thank you. I watched Nutty Guy in Japan. Very good. All right. I'm glad you watched Nutty Guy in Japan. Let's get a bit more of this through here. And when I said feels, I kind of just meant like agreed, I feel you there. That's a good start. I had a feeling, but I leapt on there to say, hey, just in case. You're always happy, bless. Of course I'm always happy. I get to be here painting with you guys. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, together, I know I'm the one painting, but together we can go on a little bit of a journey and see if we can't capture a little bit of this place in Uluwatu. That would be pretty special for me. There we go, all the way to the edge. Howdy, y'all. G'day, Ryan. How we doing? Ryan, you are an early bird. And the early bird, so I'm told, gets the worm. So welcome into the live, Ryan. I've got this great saying that I like. It's, you may have heard it. The one that goes, the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. And that's true. And I think I heard a really, really good saying by Mike Tyson, out of all the people. He said, because Mike's a tough guy, and he had a lot of unaddressed feelings. And he said, this isn't a tough man's world. He learned that. And that's coming from the toughest man. He said, it's not a tough man's world. This is a thinking man's world. Thanks, Clancy. I appreciate that. Poor first mouse. Well, that's true. Poor first mouse. But depending on how well publicized the mouse's lack of success was, there might be a lot of successful mice out there. Who knows? I'm going to swap off this plate for a moment. We're going to leap across into some reds, dare I say it. Ooh. These are impasto reds. They're a little bit naughty. There we go. Impasto just means it wants to be a little bit thicker. Yeah. So guys, this picture has an intense amount of red coming through the sunset through here. Beautiful mahi. Thanks, Tans. Appreciate you. Intense amount of red. And so it's not just a beautiful blue sort of thoughtful landscape. This area here untouched and down through here in a reflection is the sunset of the gods. You wait. Something really special. So let's just have a little look-see there. Okay. Up in here. I'm going to add this red to really pop. Hello. Just like that. We're not shy when it comes to portraying the colors of the sunset. There we go. Spread that paint out just like that. Then up here a little bit more. Then it's going to die down. Coming on down here, just a wee bit. Beautiful. Those pigments are so damn pigmented. They are. They are. There's like, if you look at my paint palette here, there's a lot of paint there just for that red. Look at that amount that I've used. So we're using a serious amount of paint. Serious amount of paint, serious amount of pigment. Now, if you're trying to get the same amount of pigments in your painting, first off, love that. Go for gold. Second off, way to do it. Get an extender, but you got to use a lot of paint. These brush strokes are going on a brush. This is a commercial size brush. So this thing here is just gobbling up the paint. Thanks, Blue Mountain Sky. Appreciate you. Looks like a C. It is a C. It's amazing I can make such a great painting in such a short time. Well, we're a long way off a great painting yet, but give me time. Give me time. And look, I always say this, guys, because we have this idea when you watch paintings come together, you think, oh, these people just have the ability. You know, artists just seem to be able to make perfection every time. It's not true. Don't let me or anyone else out there gaslight you on that. we have about different artists have different hit rates. A couple of mine don't go the right way. We had one yesterday, no, the day before yesterday, and it didn't come out right. The face wasn't working. The texture on the canvas was wrong. And I was admitting to it while I was doing it. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm battling a little bit here. We'll just stop with this one. So a lot of the time when you are starting out, you can judge yourself immediately. Welcome to the team, Jasmine. And thanks, Trina. You can judge yourself just because it's not exactly what you want. No master's getting exactly what they want. They've just learned to accept where they're at and how they get there. I can see how the smallest things come together before it even happens. Good for you, King. That's pretty exciting. Being able to think in abstract ways, that's pretty fun. I like that. Now let's get some of this burnt sienna and just play with it. Hello, Luna. Luna's back. Can't keep Luna away. She has too much fun here in these live sessions. We might splash a little bit around here, but only touches. We're not going to go over the top. Not going to go over the top. I'm going to splash around here, so you can see how what I was saying about the intensity of the oranges and the reds over this side. That sun hitting it, and there will be a little of Naples yellow over here, but not as intense as the sun that gets it here. Mountain sky? I hate that question, mountain sky. I don't hate that you asked it. I'm glad you asked it, but I hate that question. I don't know, mountain sky. Some projects don't get finished. Some projects, on their way to get finished, you fall in love with them. You fall in love with every work, but sometimes you fall in love with something too much to sell it. Sounds cheesy, but you think, no, this one just needs to stay right here at home. Oops. You're golden, mountain sky. You're golden. What I mean is, we have to see how it goes. Certainly, everything you ever see, there'll be prints available for it. But when it comes to the original, sometimes there's something special about it that you can't let go. So, we'll see. We will see. There we go. All sorts of things, Luna. You're going to love it. Do you have room left on your walls, Tarns? Well, I think what usually happens too, Tarns, is I will keep peace for a period of weeks or months, and then I'll make it available. It's out of a selfishness to actually want to enjoy it for a while. And if you can do that, that's a miraculous thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's well worth doing. You'll learn more about it as you sit there with your art too. What you like about it. What you'd like to change about it. It's healthy to think that. Not to scold that, but to think that. What you would like to change about it. Do you wipe the colours later? No. No. And you'd like to have this painting. Go easy on it right now, because you've got no idea where this painting is going to go. Blue mountain sky. Sorry, mountain sky. Heidi. Heidi, think of this painting like a high school crush. Like young love. Now I say that because this painting's about to go through some drastic changes that you cannot predict. And to become someone that you couldn't have seen when we first started. I don't know where that's going to be. You don't know where that's going to be. So you love what it is now, but you might not love what it's going to become. Alan Perdy. It's acrylics. But God, doesn't it look like oils? What a cheeky trick that he makes it look so much like oils. Now, we're going to swap off this large brush. We've had our fun. Be it a lot of fun, but we have had our fun. I've got one palette, which is blue. One palette, which is our warmer shades. I'm going to put that big brush there. I don't know if you can see it in the shot or not, but it's there. And then now, oh no. Okay, we're going to leap across into turquoise. This is going to be a this is a naughty color. And I say a naughty color because we've already got so many blues here. So we're doubling down on our hues. We're not spotting new zones of detail. We're just accentuating hues. Should you do that? Probably not. Are we going to do it? Absolutely. All right. Now, cheers, Clancy. And thanks, Alan. I appreciate that. Do you have separate plates? Of course I do, Moreau. Now, this stuff here, this is the thick, slow, medium. And if you look at the art here as well, the way the brush strokes carry, they're not drying out and going dottery. They're staying strong and smooth. You need that. And you get that only from something like thick, slow, medium. It makes it behave an awful lot like oil paint. In fact, I wouldn't argue, I'd state that it almost feels exactly like oil paint. Love the blue colours. Did you get an art degree? Or is your mum an artist? Or who taught you? Well, I've got a very, very interesting past when it comes to how I learned art. It involves studying at universities, multiple universities. It involves tutoring. It involves polytechs. It involves my parents. It involves the people I love and care about. The point is, it's a long story. And if you'd like to hear it, I would love to share it with you. And where you can find it, it's on the About Me page on my website. The only reason I don't tell it here is too many people have heard it too many times. But I will say this. I try and keep that story as raw and as authentic as I possibly can. Because, well, you know it. Most of you have been here before. If it's not raw and authentic, I don't want it. I've got no use for it. There's enough stuff out there in the world right now, guys. That's not raw. That's not authentic. That's not unique. It's not that it has to be unique, but it's that if it's raw and real and honest, it becomes unique. So I don't care for things to be unique. They just always happen to be. Because once you're honest, raw and real, the unique quality just seems to follow along, tag along with the rest of it. And I think that's why I was so attracted to art all the time. I really felt. Hello from Cape Town, Wes. Lovely to have you here. And thanks for the finger heart, Mountain Sky. I think I just always felt there was something undeniably real when I held a paintbrush and applied paint to a surface. And I think there's this inspiration, this playfulness that you have as a child. And I think as time ticks by, that child, what do? Do they learn to subdue it? Control it? Or forget about it? I don't know. But guys, you can't do it forever. You can't. Whether you figure out in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, on your deathbed, You can't escape it. At some point, you will remember what your dreams were, or what did feel real, what felt like it mattered. And you'll either go pursue it with the time you've got left, or you'll regret having not pursued it with the time you no longer have. Embracing the inner child. Yes, Star. I agree. Here we go. Just little bits up through the sky. You can see how this turquoise isn't changing it, but it's adding a little bit of a color swap. A hue change, not a tonal change. Just a very light hue change. Now, let's bounce over these waves. There we go. Beautiful. Stand back. Stand back. Always take a chance to do this, guys. Art's no different to a to an essay, to a workout routine, a relationship, whatever it is. Art's no different. It needs time that you stand back and review it, even if only briefly. Even if only to give yourself that pat on the back and say, you know what? This is going exactly as planned. And even if everything's going to plan, taking the opportunity to do that, God, it's invaluable. In relationships, in art, in a workout routine. How much they prioritize hitting milestones and caring about those milestones and celebrating those milestones when it comes to a workout routine. And shouldn't we do the same thing with art? Shouldn't we do the same thing with our relationships? Absolutely. You got to get going, Ronan? Rowan. Catch you later, Rowan. Look after yourself. All right. Let's dabble across the sky. And I appreciate that, guys. But realize that a lot of what I say is absolute nonsense. And although I may say things one day and tell you how to paint, I withhold the right. And I warn you that I'll do this. But tomorrow, I might change my opinions. Because if you really want to keep that inner child alive, be prepared to rapidly change your beliefs. And I think that's really healthy. I don't think you would sway too far. Oh no. Have I become boring already? Okay, next color up. Hello, all powerful. Welcome to the team. Next color up. Silver. Iridescent silver. We're going to use this in the place of grey to make sure a lot of this water has a shimmering feel to it. I'm having you on, Star. I appreciate that, though. Sorry, comment there. Because as an artist, you will always change your opinion, always. I think you'll change your opinion as any human being. I think there's a lot of pressure on us not to do that these days. But liquid, water, a little bit of caffeine, and a whole bunch of acrylic paints, a little bit of satin through them, a little bit of slow dry and medium, a little bit of extender. Very boring. Is it almost finished? I don't believe it's anywhere near, but it's in a very, very fun place. I think we can all agree on that. Do you know what time it is, Seb? Black Bunny. Hit me with it. I can't wait to hear what it is. And Ryan, thanks for the Guardian Wings. You absolute legend. I appreciate that. Are you just now getting on? Yes, Black Bunny. Yes, indeed. It's a late night session. It's not going to be a long session. Oh, James, that's the most phenomenal feedback. You absolute legend. You know, James, I used to work in for a restaurant franchise. Um, after art school, actually, after university. But the point is, because I didn't believe when I first came out of university that becoming an artist was going to be even a reality I could comprehend. Another story for another day. But in the restaurant franchise, our goal was never to be the best restaurant. We didn't want that. We wanted to be the favorite restaurant, and that mattered to us more because we thought that's what people cared about, and we were right. That actually, who cares how fancy and the amazing presentation of the food and how stoic the waiter can be? Forget all that stuff. Forget all that 5-star nonsense. What's the stuff that really makes people feel special? Let's do that. Let's make ourselves people's favorite restaurant. And honestly, when people would say that we were, and they would all the time for this chain, amazing place. But that was the sort of thing that would really spin our wheels. So when you say favorite artist, that's lovely feedback. I appreciate that. I'm the one who's watched all your vids on YouTube and on TikTok. If you have an official fan club, I would be the #1 fan. You're an absolute champion. I've got some terrible news though. We had live, which apparently TikTok's telling me the data's corrupted. So I can't upload it, James, which is a disaster. But James is someone who's watched a lot of the footage, all the footage. You know I'd absolutely love to hear any feedback you've got. What I should do with lighting, what I should paint, what I should say, who I should be saying it to. I want to use your ears as much as you're allowed to use mine. Sorry, I missed that comment there. Thanks, Patricia. Luna, how many hours do you paint a day? Sophia, that's a great question. And I think, first, Sophia, are you an artist? Because I think sometimes we ask that question of other artists in the same way athletes ask it of other athletes. How often do you train a day? Thinking that athlete's training for 10 hours, I better do 11. That athlete's training for, 6 hours, I better do 8. Art's different. Art's very different. And I say that because even in the form of this right now, where I'm painting in front of you, I need to make canvases, make boards, all sorts of stuff. Talk to people who are framing, get artwork shipped. And so, are we talking about how many hours you work? If you're doing what you love, is any of it work? I don't know. But I paint about 6 hours a day. I think that's a fair estimate. There's other jobs that come into it all the time, but 6 hours are spent painting. And I think that's healthy for me. Other artists will spend 12, and other artists might spend 15 minutes. But they'll be different. They're on their own journey. Is this piece for sale, DT? It's not for sale. It's not for sale. Let me finish it. Let me finish it. And after I finish it, because this is a picture I personally took, so it holds a special place in my heart because I was holding the camera and took this photo at Dreamland Beach of a woman running out into the surf as the sun set. So, selfishly, I want to live with this painting for a wee bit. Nothing's going to stop that from happening. But maybe after a period of time, it might go onto the store, or we'll just keep it here and just keep on enjoying it. But in a similar sense that if you were, here's a weird example. If you were the best farmer of lettuce in the land, would you expect to give away every single lettuce and not have lettuce? Or would you keep your favorite lettuce to have amazing salads? And I say that because until the power bill comes in. True. So it's an absolute luxury to be able to hold on to a piece of artwork. But don't get me wrong for a second. You have to love what you make. You really do. And just like a lettuce farmer, not that that's a real thing, microgreens farmer would make amazing salads. At the same time, if you walked into my studio or house, you'd expect to see a lot of art. DT, the parrots are not quite finished, but by pursuing it with reckless abandon, we won't finish it. We're taking a little bit of R&R, splashing around some colour, getting a little bit wild. We'll go back to the parrots. They've only got one layer to go. We'll smash that, but that one layer to work, we need to be here. I lost two of my two first official paintings in the storage shed. I gave up at the time. Too many fees, RIP. Too many fees. Yeah. Well, that's true. Am I going to start another lecture about talking about Monet and Van Gogh, who never sold artwork, but are the greatest artists of all time? I could do, but I don't think I need to. I think if you love it, you should do it. And if you can, pursue it. Hello, Tash from Digital Marketing. Lovely to have you here. And so much movement in it. You're so off. Thanks, Wendy. I appreciate that. Can you move one eyebrow at a time with Riz like The Rock and a banana? I cannot. Not with the same smouldering intensity. Not at all. All right. Stand back. Have a little look-see. How do we feel? Honestly, we feel good. We're going to get some yellow. Here we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, yellow, a little bit of white. I want that really soft saturation. I'll kick off with the Devon. I'm just curious. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Does that count as a talent? Of course it does, James. You absolute legend. I'm just curious. What do you dream about when you go to sleep? I feel like vivid colours. If I paint for long enough, we're talking, 4+ hours, you'll go to bed seeing paint, but you won't dream about it typically. And then Devon, I do commissions. If you'd like one, links in the bio. Absolutely. Is it possible to paint this caliber if one is colorblind? Yeah. In fact, better still, it'll probably be even cooler. Stop seeing things that everyone else considers to be inhibitors as your enemies. It's not the case. Colorblindness. So you can't see the hues of colors, but you can still see their tones. That makes you immensely powerful. You're a force to be reckoned with, because hues mean nothing to you. So you get every single paint, and do another favor for yourself. Go the whole Monty, vivid over, color out the actual name of the colors. So you have no idea what's brown, what's blue, what's red, what's green. Everyone else does, but you don't care. So you're making these amazing works with incredible tonal change with no idea what color it is. It's irrelevant to you. And if anyone wants to see the work the way you see it, they can take a picture on their phone, go to a filter on their phone, change it to black and white, and they can see what you see. But otherwise, they see their own reality. That sounds pretty cool to me. Colorblind holding you back. It's a gift. This is art. That's a gift. Here we go. Right. A little bit of this through the sky. I was telling a story last time. Thanks, Ryan, Guardian Wings, you absolute legend. I just messaged you on Instagram and WhatsApp. Cheers, Devin. I saw a call coming through on WhatsApp, but I can't answer right now, obviously. So the only calls I answer in the middle of a live come from Shelby, my mum, and my father. So, but I will check your ones after this, I promise. I think yellow will be the finishing touch. We might go a bit further. Dane, good to have you back here, Dane. Absolutely lovely. Do you refer to the style of painting as abstract? No. If you've been here before, you'll know that I'm not so keen on styles. I feel like it's important for creators to be able to classify and bunch up styles. But for you as an artist, having a style is just another limitation. As far as it goes for me, the biggest limitation I need is in having a picture to work from. Something as a guiding anchoring point to just control me a little bit. That's all I need. But when it comes to adding a style on for the way I do the picture, this is too much now, guys. This is too much. But if I was being a creator, to answer your question and not throw it to the side, if I was being a creator, I'd call this modern impressionism. That's what I'd call it. That would be my interpretation. I've been colorblind my whole life. I've just felt like I shouldn't even attempt art. Charlie, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There was I mean that in the way that you should attempt art. If it's what you want to do, don't let that stop you. That's outrageous. There we go. Shark Bean. You've got a fellow mate right there. There's another man who used to paint amazing realism portraits. Perfect. Flawless. And the reason why that's important is he had a stroke and lost the ability to use his hands properly. Couldn't move at all. He was stuck in a wheelchair. He could just move his hand this much. And so he had to get brought little squares and he'd paint one at a time. And his portraits went from, the size of a wall to two gigantic. And the reason that was meaningful is he could do one little square at a time, like those posters made of a million photos. And he could only do it roughly. Interesting thing about him, he was now stuck in a wheelchair painting like this. Just like this. No one remembers his work prior to his stroke. Everyone loves his work afterwards. The thing that was the biggest limitation, and don't get me wrong, being in a wheelchair as a stroke victim and only being able to do this is a huge limitation. But to make your greatest art after that, with that limitation, just goes to show that that's not a thing when it comes to creative process. It can become your biggest angle. Right. Okay. Clancy, thanks for the roses. Okay. What are we gonna do next? Honestly, I know I've got some grey in here, but before I add that, I should go for the yellows. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get some of these yellows in there. And there's a bunch more over there too. About not being able to see the right colours for the overall emotion? Nah, throw that out. Throw that thought out. You need a best friend to be like, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Imagine being the greatest realism painter alive for your day, and suddenly not being able to do anything more than this in a wheelchair. If that guy can come back and think he's going to make artwork, and then make some of the greatest artwork he's ever made, then don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. If you would write a book, what would it be about? I would write a book. Good question, Star. I would write a book about every challenge I faced and how I overcame it, with the hope that someone who's going through a similar challenge might read it and use it as a tool to then get over the same challenges easier. Imagine the toughest thing you've ever done. The toughest thing you've ever done. The thing that caused you the most physical and mental distress that nothing else could ever parallel. Now imagine you knew someone else was going to go through that, and you could write words to give them a little bit of a blueprint or a guideline to make it easier. That would be something worth doing. There we go. I think the bright sun or a sunset is missing. Well, this is a very interesting point, because the sun is behind some clouds here. The entire sky is clouds. And it comes out vividly in this photo with this intense red that hits the water. But then the rest of the painting has the regular water colour to it. So you get the sun, but you also get the regular sea. I shouldn't say regular sea, but I love the force of nature that inspires your drawing. And oh, thanks, Luna. I appreciate that. And Star, does that mean you liked my reply or you did not? It's hard to tell. Thanks, Luna, you champion. And hi, Ernesto. Lovely to have you here. Try and practice some colour theory. Understand how warm and cool works, light and dark. That's true. Or don't. Just enjoy the fact that you can't see colours. Like, this is not in a condescending way. Who cares? Just have fun. Tonal change with complete, like, heck, I do tonal change and I ignore the hues a little bit. Intensify, decrease, but always try and get the tones correct. You can do what I do on absolute steroids. Be like, oh my god, have you seen Seb Gower's work? Yeah, you've got to go and see this guy's work though. If you think Seb Gower's work's cool, wait till you see this guy who's colourblind. He uses colours in the most intricate and interesting ways, and he doesn't even know he's doing it. I'm telling you, Charlie, you can be the guy. Currently, the only thing stopping you is how you feel about it. It's amazing in art how we're stopped. Not by others. We think if only others would love our art, that we could get to where we want to go to, that would become who we want to become, that would feel as fulfilled as we want to be fulfilled. When actually, others have nothing to do with it. They do, but in terms of your own personal fulfillment, you just need to accept yourself. And we're so quick to never do that. And keep thinking it's something external. This is silly. It was a beautiful... Oh, thanks, Star. I appreciate that. When will this live get on YouTube? James. I've been trying to upload them straight afterwards. But the last one, same before, got deleted by TikTok. Not because of anything bad. They just said there was a encryption corruption error that they couldn't get it to work, and I was gutted because I feel like we did some beautiful work in that one. But that's okay. That's okay. And Alex, thanks for the rainbows. You absolute champion. I appreciate that. Here we go. Okay. Let's just dabble down in here. Now, after these yellows, I'll warn you now so it doesn't come by surprise. Your painter, Seb, is going to need a quick toilet break. And then he's going to come back. He's going to keep going. Here we go. Early coats. Wild by nature. I want to create the art that really gives people something to think about. Brings out that emotion. Perfect. The only thing stopping you from doing that is currently you. There's some people out there who put a red dot on a surface and it's all they do. But people believe in it. Why do they believe in it? Is everyone wrong? No. People believe in it because they believe that in that simple dot, in a banana taped to a wall, in simple gestural strokes on an ugly old piece of corrugated iron, is something real. So your job's not to become like everyone else. Your job's to actually make something real. Make something you genuinely feel, not some cruel, ugly rendition that you think everyone wants to see. No one wants to see no one who actually matters wants to see who you think they want you to be. Everyone who actually matters wants to see you do you in a real way. And that's what's going to matter. Right. Star. What would I name a book if I was to write one? I would name a book. Hey, Ray Day. This is a tote off the cuff. I'd name it Intoxicating Honesty. That's fun. Hello, Jules. Lovely to have you here. Right. I'm going to come on back in just a moment. I'm going to put this up here. Back in a second. And he's back. It was way too late, but he's back. Did I make it back in time? And if I didn't, how far off was I? Here we go. Also, guys, it's a very chill stream, and it's good to have a chill one. Chill, that's a youthful word. Every now and again. And in terms of this stream, I think something really fun about it is even with literally right on time, fantastic. Even with the chill atmosphere that we've got going on, we've still got 5k likes there. That's pretty cool. I know a lot of streams, don't get me wrong, I know a lot of streams have hundreds of thousands of likes. But I feel like those 5k of likes, pretty authentic, pretty real. They're like ticks of agreement to the rants of feelings that I'm giving you. Would you rather split the bill with friends or everyone pay for what they eat? It depends on the friend group. And I don't believe any restaurant bill is worth losing any friends over. So if it comes down to a factor of we're doing this and the possibility that we might lose a friend, I'll take it. Even if I can't afford it, I'll take it. It's not worth it, guys. We put that much time and energy, emotional energy, into developing and nurturing friendships. You can't afford to lose that over a chicken quesadilla. Grow up. Charlie, I personally think a positive vibe stream is more important than time. Oh, that's nice. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes we have armies of people in here. But I lose track of things. And people have to usually follow up with me on Instagram later in the piece and ask questions and chase up and all the rest of it. So as much as I like the big streams, it's not always the best. Because sometimes the people who really need to hear something get lost in the crowd. And we all know what that's like. Hi, hi, hi. G'day, Angel. Good to have you here. I don't know how you made that question deep. Well, it's true. It's true. I do play a fun game with my very close friends, though. This isn't deep. This is just something I like to do, and it's very silly. Prepare yourselves. So, in my friend group, with my close friends, I like to play a game with dice. And the deal is, we roll a dice. If the dice is 1, 2, 3, or 4, then I'll pay for the entire meal. But if the dice is 5 or 6, you pay for the entire meal. And you owe me the cost of the meal. So, you've got a 4 in 6 chance of me paying for everything, but a 2 in 6 chance of paying for dinner and owing me another dinner. What would you take? How do you feel about that math? Well, I felt heard in this stream with my colorblindness, so thank you. You go, Charlie. You absolute champion. Yeah. It's funny actually. If you one day became a famous painter and someone was asking you what you would say had the biggest impact on it, you wouldn't talk about your having to overcome colorblindness. You'd talk about it being your biggest asset, part of your product, what made you special. Sounds like a solid deal? Yeah. So I should also preface this by saying I have never once rolled a 5 or a 6. I must have paid for well over $1,000, maybe $2,000 worth of restaurant bills. But one day, my luck will come back. The other thing I like to do too, guys, as a funny one, is I love, if it's a bit awkward, if you think you're both going to compete on who's going to pay, I don't like that competition. I don't like competition. It's not my style. So what I do is if I think there's going to be competition, I'll immediately offer, let's flip a coin. Let's flip a coin and the loser pays for the lot. Because if there's the inclination that you could split it, that they're going to grab the whole thing or you're going to grab the whole thing, flip a coin. 50-50. Now, you know you're in the right place when you're hoping that you're going to have to pay. If you're not hoping you're going to have to pay because they won't, this is the best thing to do when they won't accept it when you say, I'll pay. If they won't let you pay, then you, by flipping a coin, you've given yourself an additional 50% chance. They're not going to let you pay. That's gone. But now you've got a 50% chance to pay. Something that was off the table before. This is good. True, Star. True. Aha! No, Charlie, you keep me out of it. It's all about you, mate. It's all about you. All right. So we're throwing some blues back in here. There's none up in the sky. But there are some little characters out here in the sea. We haven't spotted them yet. So for the first time, we're going to do it. Now, guys, can you let me know right now? I'm going to stand here. Am I still in the shot? Is my head in the shot for you, or am I gone? Morning from Atlanta. Hello from Atlanta. Who's still got my head in the shot? Or have I disappeared from view? Yep, there. Half gone. You're half gone. Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. I think I might actually, bear with me. I'll pop you down here and pop you out just the teeniest little bit. There we go. Just so I can stand back properly. That's what I want to do. Just here. Now, person in the water. One here. Person in the water. One here. We're not going to get hung up on heads and shoulders. These people may stand out, but they're as insignificant as the waves that grace this beach. And you can just see them. This is actually these little dots. This is where the surfer is running out to. She's eager to be a part of what these little dots are doing. And that's beautiful. Sashi, hello. Good to have you here. What time is it here? That's a good question. It is 8 o'clock at night. So we're not around forever. We are not around forever. We'll be on the road in... Look, I'm not going to put a time limit on it. I hate putting time limits on it when you're painting. As soon as I say 20 minutes, you know what I start doing? I start getting, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I tell you guys 20 minutes, I get immediate anxiety where I'm like, oh God, hurry up. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minutes, until it's 20 and then it's done. If I say 4 hours, I don't feel any anxiety for the first 2 hours, and then I start feeling it on the last 2. Time limits are terrible for art. But what we are going to do here, before I stop, is I've got more blacks to add. I've got whites to add. I've got possibly some Naples yellows to add. And I feel like there's some sort of blue in there. A cerulean blue? We'll find out. Time constraints make you want to rebel. Yes, I love that, love. Star, sorry. 100% agree. And Jow, welcome in. Good morning from London, Pablo. Welcome in. And guys, on another note, ooh, hold on. Naughty. Red, a little bit of blue. There we go. Grab all of that. Let's make some purple. Hey, old fella. Hey. Hey, Clancy, how you doing? Guys, if you are enjoying yourself here and you want to be a part of it more, I would absolutely love to have you as a sub. So if you want to join the team, I'm not sure where the button is on your screen, but it'd be a pleasure to have you. And if you're happy where you are, I'm happy you've been there too. Don't let me pressure you into anything. I'm just saying, for me personally, it'd be kind of cool. Are you using an external mic? Audio quality is top notch. I have got a little mic, and I used to not have one, but the problem was this studio that I'm working in right now is close to a highway, and there were probably times when the wind, the air purifier, and the trucks on the road made it a little bit hard to talk. So it's sort of cool to be able to just not yell my words out, but to just be able to like talk normally, as if you would, not like in a bar. I can't hear a word in a bar. My ears it can't happen. But to be able to talk as if we're just in a room together having a conversation, I think that's the best way to do it. So I thought a mic was a pretty cool idea. And definitely, after I got it, it proved to be correct. Because my yelling, my intensity of my voice, I almost felt like I was lecturing, yelling things out, turned into just calm. To calm. Thanks, Clancy. And Ezra, good to have you here. Right. Let's get a little bit of this colour through here. This red. There we go. Little bits of red. When did I start painting? Nadine, I started painting maybe when I was about 3. But we all go on our own little journeys. And my journey took me away from painting for a while. In my early 20s, I didn't believe painting was for me. I thought I had other things I should be doing. And I charged off on those things, thinking that through those things I could help the world, people I love, and myself more. And I was wrong. I was very wrong. It was actually through this, through making artwork and doing something, not only that helps others, but that makes me truly happy, that I could do the most. That's the sort of thing that I wish we learned in art school. It's yellow now. Yes, it's ruined now. Is it ruined? It's ruined now. That's why I said when everyone was saying they wanted to buy it, it was going to change. It was going to change. But again, Eileen, it may be ruined now. but it's going to change a few more times. This painting is growing, stroke to stroke. Oh, you're just kidding. That's okay. Well, let's say you don't like it. You may have liked it at the start. Let's pretend you liked it at the start. Let's pretend now that you don't like it. And let me tell you that this painting's on a trajectory. It's not there yet. The first layer didn't define it. The second one, the one it's in right now, doesn't define it. The only thing that will define it is a culmination of all those layers. Just like with you as a person. A culmination of all your experiences, what you've been through, your tastes, what you love, what you dislike. All the things that make you you. No one's going to judge you by saying, let's only look at the first 20 years. If you're 40, we're looking at all the years. Who are you? Just like with a painting. If you look at the first 20 years, the first layer, this is irrelevant. We're on layer 2 now. That's irrelevant. We're on layer 3 now. And only can we really step back and admire it or judge it. We can always judge it. But only can we do that on the final layer when it's done. I have 6 layers in my last painting. That's exciting. There's still a lot to be done. I like that, DT. I like that attitude. That's compelling. It gets better and better. There's still a lot to be done. That's a committed attitude, but it's also a positive one. It's all the right directions. Now, there's also a comment here, even though I can't see some colours, I feel that art showcases so much of the beauty on earth. This is true. Kudzo, have I seen your name here before? Or am I just slowly losing my mind in paint? Silver's done. Turquoise is done. These reds are done. So are my siennas. I don't want these. Gold, we chose silver. You're done. A bit of mid-grey. Naughty. Naughty choice, but I like it. Nicki Minaj is the queen of rap. She might be. It's absolutely different with every layer. This is true. This is true. Cheers, DT. And Elaine, thank you. Me. Hello, Nikki. Welcome back. Let me just jump on this here. All right, let's get this to the tip here. You know what, guys? Let's have some fun. I'm going to show you some of the little tricks I've learned. Now, bear in mind that I'm not super good at this. So, we've been... Give me the mic? Shows up in big text. Who knows? I don't care. Okay, hold on. Into here. Not that one. Enhance. Not in there. It's in here. Treasure box. This is the one. This is fun. There we go. I love these things. Okay. I never knew whether it's finished or not. Same. Well, there's a bunch of different philosophies to this. Some people say the painting's never finished. Some people say that only the artist can decide. And some people believe there's a specific point that you need to reach and then it's done. And I've come to think, I used to have my own opinions, I've come to think that everyone's right. And when it comes to finished, I believe it's one size fits one. And that means you need to figure out your own solution. What makes your work finished? There's no point asking me. I mean, I can tell you what works for me, but jeepers, that's exciting. Thanks, Nikki. I thought that was a chest for a moment. For me, I set out with intention. There's something I want. I'm very, very driven in that sense that I want something from a painting. In this one, I want to capture a memory. I want to capture the colors. I want to capture a feeling of a surreal, beautiful place. Something that feels like the ocean, that feels like a landscape, but at the same time feels so incredibly surreal and separate from reality because this moment was like that. And then I also, with these characters out here, want to paint a story with the individual. I want to see a character, and this is why all this water here, if you see this, this flows away from her, or not away from her, but up to her. She's running out there, and we can see all these shadows and swirling waters to actually donate a third of the painting to her movement. It seems like a giant picture of the sea, but a third of it, and all the turbulent part, is donated to her movement. She's tiny. She's less than 2% of this picture, and she's heading out there to these characters. The smallest brushstrokes we've done on the canvas, these tiny little blue dots, but they signify the icons that show you that actually something's out there. She's moving towards them, and then you infer that we're looking at a sea. We're looking at somewhere where there's possibly surf. She's running out there because the sun's setting. There's limited time. There's people out there enjoying it, and she wants to be a part of it. So she's doing her story, and I'm doing mine. And that's what this painting's trying to capture. So, wait 5 days, then you'll change the painting every time. Sometimes. So, as soon as I see that's been captured, I stop. I've gone as far as I wanted to go because I had a point that I wanted to reach. But every artist is different. So that's my advice. Someone else is entirely different. They're not right. I'm not wrong. They're not wrong. I'm not right. We're just different. One size fits one. That's my advice. Now, coming on back here. Okay, let's have a little look-see. Let's go for the tan. And we're going to use the medium-sized brush for this. Get myself help. Jeepers, Joe. In what capacity, Joe? You don't like the art? You hate it? You're upset that I'm being so open with you? You can't stand the fact that maybe the picture looks funny? Maybe, Eileen. All those rational feelings to have, Joe. That's very sweet, Nikki. I really appreciate that. And hello, LJ. But Nikki, like I've said, let the painting be finished. It might not be what you thought it was going to be when it started. It's okay just to watch it at any given stage and enjoy it. It's totally okay. You ignoring me? No, Nikki. I was answering a question. I was saying, just let it be. You might not love it at the end, but I love your passion for it right now. You're never on at this time, LJ, no. I like to keep you guessing, LJ. Here we go. A little bit of this through the sky. Perfect. Jeepers. I was trying to reach out to Joe and make him happy, but he's gone. Nikki, I love you to bits. Thanks for the support. I really appreciate that. Now, like I was saying though, Nikki, hold fire with this painting. This may not have the same feeling that you feel from it at the moment. Let it take some time. Tough client. At the end of the day, James, look, you're not going to win over everyone. Your art's going to polarize some people. And that's okay. Actually, the best thing that can happen, and we had a great talk the day before yesterday. We had someone. You feel me now? Thanks, Nikki. I appreciate that. We had a great talk yesterday with, thanks, LJ. Thank you. with someone who was allegedly, I never checked, but allegedly a master in fine arts. And they very, very outwardly hated my work, hated everything that I did. The colors were wrong. My attitude towards it was terrible. Everything needed to change. Not just change, but improve. Now, this is okay because this sparked up a really interesting discussion, and they stayed for it. And we had a really interesting, not a debate, but I spent most of my time defending their opinion and saying that they're actually justified to feel the way that they feel. And what's really important is we actually find out what we don't like. But not just that we don't like it, to figure out why we don't like it. Because if we can figure out that, then we can push ourselves more and put ourselves in more situations with things that we do like. That's powerful. That's powerful. Oh, by the way, was there ever such a case, having painted but didn't get paid because at the end the client said they didn't like it? That all depends on how you do. Cheers, LJ. That all depends on how you go about the work. So, a couple of things you can do. And the way I do it is I get an installment payment before I start. That's a trust payment because they pay it before they've even seen the artwork. But the reason why that's good is it covers your cost, your canvas, your paint, the little things like that. So that if at the end of the process they don't love the artwork enough to have it, and they decide that they've got cold feet and it's not for them, the cost of the canvas is covered, the paint is covered, and you know what? If they don't want it, if you actually made the art right, then you just got something that you find really special, and that's pretty cool. But realize that it actually happened the other day. Thanks, Rocky. Oh, that's special, Nikki. That's very special. I'd love to see his work. I was going to say, the other thing that we can get caught up on too is if you've painted something beautiful for someone and they've changed their mind and don't want it, a lot of the time the perfect price on art is when you would happily keep the artwork and not take the client's money. At the very point where you're happy to keep the point of crossover when the artwork's priced correctly is when you'd prefer to keep the money then you prefer for them to keep their money to have their art, to have your artwork. At that very point, it's priced correctly, and you keep ticking it up dollar by dollar until you're like, that's the mark. At that point right there, I'd prefer the money. Come down a little bit, back into that zone of forget the money, and that's where the artwork should be. And that's where you want to price it. Sometimes it's hard to actually think like that, but that's the way you want to price it. Because a lot of the time when you talk to an artist, do you get the feeling that they just want you to buy it because they want the money and take my little creation, I want to see it gone, I want your money? You get a lot more confidence when you as an artist and the buyer as a client can be there and the artist to say, that's this much. If you take it, I'm so happy for you. I'm glad you're going to have it and I'm glad you're going to love it. But if you don't want it for that much, I personally want to keep it. This is personal to me and I want it. If it wasn't personal to the artist, would you want it as a client? Do you want something that the artist put no feeling behind? Do you want some crude craft on your wall? Yuck. Good for you if you want that. Yeah, it's not my bag. I would have liked to be a painter, but that's not my gift. For cycling, I hope my little brother. You're a cycler. That's fun. And your little brother? Maybe. If your dad's a painter, it's highly likely. Because I think that one of the biggest barriers of being a painter is believing you can do it. And so if one of your relatives has done it, powerful. Now, I didn't have that, but I had a mother who instilled huge belief in me, which helps immensely. I can't imagine how hard it would be without that. And so, on these lives, and in everything I do, I try and let someone who didn't have a mum like mine know that this is very, very possible for you if you just believe. Just believe that you're here to paint to make other people happy. It can be done. So the balance is when you feel the amount evaluates feel your art. That's a little bit misunderstood. Imagine the amount of money. Imagine you painted a picture that you've spent 500 hours on, and someone offers you $10 for it. What are you going to do? I think you'd prefer to keep your picture on the wall. It's beautiful, and you love it inside your home, don't you? So you wouldn't sell it for $10. Okay. Now I offer you $500 million for a painting that you spent 50 hours on. And what happens? Suddenly, you can't wait to sell it to me. You can't wait to part with your painting and take that money off me. And I'm a fool. Or if I disappear, you'll be so put out, annoyed and angry, being like, you said you would buy it. Now, where's the amount in the middle? Where's the amount that teeters around literally $1, where one extra dollar and one less dollar and you wouldn't sell it? What's that amount? I had a surfboard recently. I love this one, guys. It's a great example. It was a surfboard that I spent a huge amount of time painting. Love went into it. A man said he wanted to buy it. And I said, you can buy it. Absolutely. I'd love to sell it to you. And I said, but I'm not selling it before I've finished it. It needs more love. So I put 12 more coats on the surfboard. It had epoxy coats, additional paint coats, UV coats. This thing is as protected as the best cars in the world to retain its colour. It's perfectly smooth. It's the most beautiful hibiscus flower on a surfboard. I'm personally in love with it because I found the surfboard in Indonesia. I brought it around the country with me. I painted it on the beaches around Indonesia. I brought it back to New Zealand and finished it off. So, very special. When it came to the moment where I was finished, I said, would you like the surfboard now? And he said, no, I can't now. I'm in a different position in my life. It's not right for me. I was excited because that meant I get to keep the surfboard. When you're in that position, that means you're charging the right amount for your art. And now I've got the, excuse my language, I've got a kick-ass surfboard here in the foyer of the house, and I love it. And the cool thing is, the client also knows that I was excited. So, hello, Elb. Good to have you here. And where am I from? Auction? Yeah, you can auction your work. That's totally okay. You'd have to ask yourself why. Is it because you don't know the value of it? I'd ask you to ask yourself why you don't know the value of it. Do you think you're greater than you think you are? Do you think other people will think you're greater than you're currently aware that you are? Do you need to be? I don't know. Hello, Matt Ocean. How you doing, mate? And Jules, welcome in here. Yes, LJ. So the surfboard is mine. And no one was more excited than Shelby. I remember when I told her, she was practically jumping out of her seat. She was, you mean we get to keep the surfboard? Because when I told her I was going to sell it, she was like, you're not. You're not. The surfboard we went all around Indonesia with, you're not. And I said, yeah, I'm going to sell it. Anyway, when that was good because we'd made peace with it being gone. So it was almost like getting a second surfboard, the fact that it was going to stay. Beautiful. Very happy. Nikki. Sorry, Nikki, did I answer your question? I'm in New Zealand, and I hope you have a fantastic night, Nikki. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the support, and I will see you, hopefully, on the next live. Ocean, I'm fantastic. I am absolutely fantastic. Adding Louisiana, USA. Nikki, no. I'm in New Zealand, which is a place deep down in the southern hemisphere of New Zealand. Deep, deep down. New Zealand's a place below Australia. And Fang Sora, have a great night, Fang. I'll catch you later. There we go. All right, team. In the other account world, something like that. It should be the next state of Australia. A little bit ocean, a little bit, you're not wrong. Hi, can you talk about your mum being supportive of your artistic endeavours? That's an exciting topic. Would you add the thinnest black dot in a cloud for me, Alexander? It's funny you say that because I was thinking that I wanted to add a little bit of black. And if it is for you, that's also fine. I'll tell you what, Alexander, I'll do you a deal. It's not going to be in a cloud. Oh, actually, you know what, Alex? You're in luck. There's a teeny tiny bit of black around here. You're in the other world. I'm sad. Don't be sad. I feel like we're here. I feel like the world's more connected than it's ever been. I feel like we can paint here on live and join together in a special way. And hopefully, through just digital pixels, give you inspiration to go off and enjoy your own life. Wherever that may lead. I'm in Australia for 5 weeks in October. Jay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, standing back, let's have a little look-see. We went a little bit nuts with that grey, but that's okay. I had fun. And now we've got our blacks. Let's have a little look-see here. All right, Alexander. This is for you. Here we go. It's right here. This crowd creeps along here. Just like that. You'll visit the country soon. Well, if you're a fan of coffee, you'll absolutely love New Zealand. If you're a fan of hikes, nature, other compelling reasons to love New Zealand. If you're not a fan of any of those things and just want to go for a bungee jump and a skydive, you'll also love New Zealand. What I'm saying is New Zealand's sort of got a little bit of something for everyone. I think one of the most beautiful things about New Zealand is the fact that we've got nothing that can hurt you. So whatever your taste is, you can come to no harm here. No bears, no wolves. And most of us, for the most part, just want to look after you. You like bear. Great start. The white ruined it now. Oh no, Alan. The white's ruined it. You've ruined the painting, Sebastian. If I had a nickel for every time someone told me I'd ruined a painting, I'd never need to sell a painting. But at the end of the day, let the painting slowly become what it's going to become. Don't scold it. That's like a child who's done something wrong and you just scold them for it off the bat. Does it help them grow? Or do you just break them a little bit and make them resent you? Don't scold them. Oh, Nikki, thank you very much for Flamingo Floaty. You absolute legend. New Zealand will be absolutely lucky to have you, Nikki. That's much appreciated. Tourist board should hire you. Thanks, Kuzu. From your local Christchurch, Leanna, thank you very much. Actually, that's pretty exciting, Leanna. Christchurch is a lovely place. How do you feel about sci-fi settings? I'm looking at buying a house in the next 2 years and I'd love to commission you. Sorry, athletic quails, absolutely love it. Sci-fi settings typically involve those colors, magenta and turquoise, and their sort of neon aspect, because those are the two that sort of define light. So yeah, two of my favorite colors to use. In fact, we obnoxiously added turquoise to this long before we needed to. Jules is off for dinner. I think I missed that, Jules. We'll catch you later. And so yes, 100%, big fan. And all we need to do, though, is brainstorm together how we want sci-fi to look. Because there's a million different ways to present that, a million different ways to make that happen. How do we want to make it happen? What do we want to do with it to make it special? And even if you don't go through with the commission, that's something we can talk about. So at the very least, you'll have an idea of in your head, even if you want to use a local artist, which I'd encourage. That's pretty cool, you know. But then you'll have a clear idea of what you want from that artist as well. You don't get the live notifications. I think maybe if you join the team, LJ, if you join the team, we should be able to look after you. Maybe. My country, it is 3:30 a.m. Oh, thanks, Luna. All right. Catch you later. Where are you from? Lilo. I don't. I'm on the team. Oh, LJ. Honestly, that is a question for TikTok. I am drastically underqualified to answer that question. TikTok hasn't fixed the issue. I think they enjoy it because then they can suggest things. Otherwise, you wouldn't go on TikTok. You'd only just wait for the notifications for what you cared about. And I think they like the fact that you can go on and maybe what you want will be happening. I get that. Are you from New Zealand? Yes, I am. Now, last little bit here. There's a surfboard. I don't want to miss. This character here, holding a board there. There we go. Running out into the surf. There we go. Then across here. Beautiful. Beautiful. I explained everything so eloquently. I think you have a pretty... Thanks, Quails. I appreciate that. And look, Quails, I'm pretty excited if we end up teaming up and doing a commissioned original. That sounds pretty fun for me. I'm pretty excited by the idea, Quails. Right. You are Peter Pan who... Cheers, Nikki. All right, guys. We're going to pause there. We'll let this crazy layer 1 dry. That's where we wanted to take it. We've got our base colors down, and then the next thing to do is come in with white and black, define a little bit more, pull back, add a few more saturated colors, and we'll be done. But who's getting that feeling of a woman charging into a sort of sun setting? I can see it from here. We'll keep building on it. Do you have creative ruts? Of course I do, Alexander. And I need to talk about them more often because I feel like they can help a lot of people. But I have to dash right now, so not right now. But stay tuned, Alex. Guys, if you want to grab more, there's 68 of us here. That's pretty exciting. Guys, if you want to grab more, go on to the Instagram and you can follow there. A lot of the content's up there. Otherwise, the replays of these, like James was saying, they're on YouTube. You can grab them there. That's cool. And there's a website with all the bits and bobs. Flo, lovely to have you here. Oh, Daryl, never mind later. Oh, Daryl, why are you upset? And Jules, catch you later, Jules. I thought you were going for dinner. You're still here. That's lovely. All right, guys, all the best. Bye for now. See ya.